All right, so now we got the base of our snowman put together, and we're ready. We've done our commit, and we're ready to push our branch to GitHub and do what we would call a production release. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and take this branch, this 700-00 branch, and push it up to GitHub. Let's go, let's make sure that GitHub is ready for us and go take a peek at our GitHub. We see that our GitHub pages are just at 700. We see that our when we go to our 7xx branch, we have no branches at this point in time. And when we look at our 7xx site, our production site, we see that that is where it is as well. We see that our localhost is where we want it to be for this point. So let's go ahead and let's push our branch up to GitHub. And the way that we do that is first we want to, of course, run a git. And before we do that, actually, what we need to do, and we failed to do, is we want to make sure that we close our pages so that there's no changes, things like that. We're going to deal with some Dreamweaver notes probably. There's a good chance when you close a page. So we'll go back to Git. Now that our pages are closed, we'll run a git status. And we can see that we're clean, which is great. And now what we want to do is a git push origin. Origin is this repository at this point. That's what our origin is set to. And what we're pushing is the actual branch. We're not pushing master, we're pushing our branch up. So when we go ahead and we say git push origin 700-0, that's going to allow us to go ahead and push it up. Now I don't have global set, and I did that on purpose. So I have to enter my GitHub username, which actually is really easy. It's right up here in GitHub. I can see that. And I'm going to hit enter, and then it's going to ask me for my GitHub password. And what it's doing is it's zipping everything up, and it's pushing it up to my GitHub, and we can see that it has completed that. And if we come out here to GitHub and we take a look and we refresh our 7xx, we can see that we now have our 700 branch pushed up there, which is awesome. If we click on our branch, we can see that our assets folder is in there and our style is in there, and we are actually really good there. So we'll flip that back to master for now. And the next thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to merge this branch into master. We want to make this a part of our production pipeline, our core pipeline. And the way that we'll do that is we'll go ahead and we'll git checkout master. And now we're on our master branch. We can see that. And the next thing that we want to do is merge that 700-0 branch in. So we'll do a git merge 700-0. And we can see that it has merged it in with no conflicts, and 37 lines have changed. Well, actually have been added. We see all pluses there in our style because we added that file. It does it by lines, not by specifically by the file. And in our index, we can see that we added 21 lines, and we've actually deleted 8 lines. And we get that summary right down here. So now that we know that we're merged, let's go ahead out to our localhost. And we didn't check it prior to, but we can see that we know our localhost is pointed to our folder, which has master checked out. And we can see that our changes have merged up to localhost, which is great. And then at this time as well, we're going to go ahead and hop over to our Dreamweaver. And we'll see actually that our files in here look exactly as they should. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start keeping a manifest. So we're going to right click on Dreamweaver on the readme and say open with Dreamweaver. Sorry about that. And we know that in here we have already put our address. So what we want to do in here is we want to basically keep notes about what we're doing. And so we're going to say inside out project step 700, and we'll say branch 700-0, and we're just going to put in here added snowman divs to index.html, created, and let's be assets/css/style.css file, created styles for snowman divs, and linked style.css file in index.html. It's just a little breakdown of what we've completed at this point, and we'll save that and we'll close that. We can see from our view in here that our readme file has actually changed, and we'll go ahead and back out to Git, and we'll run a git status, and we can see that our readme file has been modified. So we'll do a git add to add those changes, as well as we'll go ahead and do another git status so you can see that they've been added to the staging area. And at this point, we'll go ahead and we'll do a git commit with a message. And in that message, basically what we're going to do is state that I'm going to use a normal one that I use, that I like to use, and you'll see I always like to keep consistent. And in here, we're just going to put, we know that they can read the details in the readme file. So we're saying merge 700 branch into master, and we are preparing to push it to production. So we'll go ahead and do that. And that has pulled that in. So if we run another git status, we can see that we're clean and we're good. And at this point, we'll do one more check on local. And actually, let's make sure that we do it correctly, which is open up inspect, clear out, empty out our cache, and make sure that we truly are looking at what it is we believe we're going to send up. So now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to git push origin, which is that address, and we want to push our master branch up. So git origin master. Hey Git, we want to push our master branch up to the original repository. And when we do that, we hit enter. We're going to have to give our credentials again. And that now has pushed up to master. So let's go validate that. And the way we can validate that is we can actually come out here and refresh and we can see that we're looking at master, merged, pushing to production. We can see that our assets folder is now in master, now has that. And another way that you can do it, sometimes it takes a little to update, but we can actually refresh our GitHub pages, and we can see that our actual page is now up there on GitHub. So the last thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and push to production. Keep in mind, normally this would be completed late in the evening. We want to go out and we want to take a look at our production site. We can see that our production site is still at the first phase, and we'll go into Dreamweaver. And at this point, we're going to switch from our show Git view to our file folder view. We're going to go out and take a peek at production real quick. And we can see that on production is exactly what we saw. We'll come back to local view. And we're going to highlight the root of the folder. And we can either click on this, or we can right click and say synchronize. What's going to happen is it's going to give us a box, and we're going to say get and put new files and delete remote files not on local drive. This is going to reach out to our server, and it's going to compare what we have locally to what's on our server, and it's going to come back with this list of, hey, these are the things that you have, and do you want to put these, right? It's asking us to resolve, and what we're telling it is to put them, all three of these files. So when we do this and we hit OK, we can see the activity going on, and at this point our production site, our web host, should reflect what we see on our local host, which from a perspective of files, we can see that that is true. But now we want to go out and we want to validate. Make sure that inspect is open, empty your cache, and we can see now that our production site is reflecting what our local is and what our GitHub is. So that takes care, that's not our production, that was our sample of what we were looking at. So at this point, we have completed a production push and we are good. See you in the next video where we'll add the face to our snowman and the hat.